Hello, this is Darlene J. Clark with Child Abuse Awareness. Please like, subscribe, and share. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Welcome to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. And please comment. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you for watching. Hello, whoever's here. Thank you for coming. God bless you. In Matthew 18, verse 6, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he was drowned in the depths of the sea. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. People tell us we need to be quiet. We don't need to be quiet. We need to get the word out, as it says right here in Isaiah 1:17. Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, for personal use, tips and balance in favor. Fair use. I gotta be sure to put trigger warning down. It's gonna start at the bottom of the page. I don't know how many of y'all heard about Kamarie, Holland. Someone brought this to my attention today, and thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. I do appreciate that. Her mother, Kristy Siple, sold her, she's 5 years old, to Jimmy Williams, who raped and murdered her. Took video recordings, but I have a lot of different news things, reports, and so I like sharing each and every one of them that I have up for the purposes of bringing awareness. So without further ado, I will share the screen. This is at KP Mom. Mom who reported 5-year-old daughter's kidnapping is now charged with a murder. This was published December the 30th, 2021. Look how beautiful this child is. Oh no. A friend of mine got hurt a little bit ago. So I said, oh no to that. Sorry. It's been more than 2 weeks since 5-year-old Kamarie Holland was found dead inside an abandoned home in Phoenix City, Alabama. Since then, police have charged 37-year-old Jeremy Williams with the young girl's kidnapping and murder. But this week, investigators made it clear that Williams may not be the only one responsible for her death. On December the 28th, Kamarie's mother was also arrested in connection with the girl's death and faces multiple charges, including felony murder. Kamarie Holland was initially reported missing on December the 13th. According to her mother, 35-year-old Kristy Siple, Kamarie's father had primary custody of the girl at his home in Phoenix City. At the time of her disappearance, the 5-year-old was staying with her mother in Columbus, Georgia. I like what this says with the Kamarie Holland True Crime Sisters. It takes 1 second to share this missing child. The willing and able can make a difference. Too bad the people already did what they did to her in advance. Siple claimed that she awoke that morning to find her daughter had suddenly vanished without a trace, and noticed that the front door had been left wide open, This prompted the mother to dial 911 around 6 a.m., kicking off an exhaustive search for the little girl that took investigators across state lines. By nightfall, Kamarie had finally been located. Sadly, however, she was not found alive. Hey there, hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry that you had that little accident. Are you okay, Bucket? My thoughts and prayers go to you. The 5-year-old's body was discovered inside a vacant home on 15th Avenue in Phoenix City, which is just 6 miles from where she gone missing in Columbus. She was deceased, and the manner of death at this time looks to be asphyxiation. Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor said at the time, according to WTVM, it did appear from the scene that there was some sexual abuse, the sheriff added. A fast-paced investigation eventually led police to Williams. On December the 14th, the Alabama man was officially charged with capital murder in the rape, sodomy, and kidnapping of Holland. Court documents stated that Williams likely kidnapped the child right from her bed December the 13th and brought her to the Phoenix City home, where he'd once been known to live, to sexually assault her. But at some point during the crime, either before or after the abuse took place, Williams is believed to have strangled the 5-year-old. Police seemed confident that they had their main suspect in custody, but even so, there remained several key questions, including why Williams had chosen Kamarie Holland as his victim in the first place and how he managed to take her from her mother's home while escaping detection. At the time, Kristy Siple insisted that her daughter's kidnapping and murder was a complete and total shock. When rumors swirled that the mother might have known Williams prior to the incident, and more importantly, that she might have had something to do with it, Siple, who sometimes used the name Kristy Hoskins, maintained her innocence. I'm a mommy. I did not have anything to do with this, Siple said earlier this month, according to WTVM. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. Had 3 boys and her. Whose story does this sound similar to? Without mentioning names. We already know whose story this seems. She's my life. Siple described her daughter as perfect and an absolute blessing in her life. Then why did you do what you did? I do too. I do too. Exactly. The grieving mother told WTBM that Kamarie was a sweet and caring child who once saw another girl without shoes on at a gas station and asked her mother what they could do to help. Mommy, we can help them? Siple recalled her daughter asking. Mommy, because I had so many pairs of shoes at home. But just days after Kamarie's death, Siple was already giving away her child's things. Who else does that remind you of that gave away somebody's toys, even though she was not found to be deceased or anything, that she just missing? We know who that, without naming names, the same person I was just thinking about a minute ago. It does sound awfully familiar, doesn't it? An article published by WTBM on December the 15th noted that the mother swung by the news station's annual toy drive to donate some of Kamarie's items and talk about the loss of her beloved daughter. Kamarie Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a very helping child. Then why did you do what you did? So right here, the Colin Scroggins, disturbing mother of Kamarie Holland, Kristy Siple, charged with murder in the course of kidnapping, murder in the course of sodomy, murder in the course of rape, and human trafficking in her 5-year-old daughter's death. Siple has no fun. Look how beautiful. Look at this beautiful little girl. Sweetheart. A sweetheart. She did not deserve you as a mother. During the investigation, detectives learned that Williams and Siple had a relationship prior to Kamarie's disappearance. The exact timeline of this, however, as well as the nature of their relationship, has not been revealed. At the moment, police haven't released any details about Siple's arrest or the exact evidence they have against her. But according to court documents, the 35-year-old mother is facing 4 felony charges, including murder and human trafficking, in connection with the death of Kamarie Holland. I looked it up earlier, and I'm not sure whether it's the same same Siple lady, Kristy, but I seen one with the same name, with the same hair color. I don't really know her height or whatever, so I cannot validate that that one was her. But she had been arrested for having drug paraphernalia. We are glad to see that she has been arrested. We are one step closer to justice for Kamarie. It's our hope that justice is served. Kristy should receive whatever the maximum penalty she can get. Holland added the girl's mother is a monster and that a real mother protects and would die for their children. My family and I will continue to wrestle with the loss of losing our angel, Kamarie. Holland continued. Well, you were part of the problem that made. We will ask that you continue to make your news about her and the justice she deserves. It is not yet clear whether she has acquired a lawyer, but she has certainly not entered a plea. As for Williams, he has not yet entered a plea either, though he does face the death penalty if convicted. During the press conference held Wednesday, the sheriff couldn't help but remark on the darkness in society that stories like these uncover. Please, parents, take care of your kids. Watch your kids. Be careful who your kids are around. Shouldn't have to state that, but it never hurts to remind everybody, Taylor said. This is a bad world. So I will go and I will change the settings right here so that y'all will be able to hear this video. So give me a second. It will do a commercial. Okay, so let me change it.
Saturday afternoon at around 1 o'clock in Columbus, we were able to arrest Kristy Siple, who is also known as Kristy Hoskins. She has been charged with murder during the course of kidnapping, murder during the course of rape, murder during the course of sodomy, and human trafficking. She was sent to the court this morning at 9 o'clock. She saw Judge Gray, and he set no bonds on all of her charges. So she will be held at this time in the Russell County Jail under no bond on those 4 charges. We expect that we will also have charges coming for Mr. Williams. We expect in the next couple of days he will be charged with capital murder during the course of kidnapping, capital murder during the course of rape, capital murder during the course of sodomy, production of child pornography. Currently, Mr. Williams is being held in the Russell County Jail under a no bond for capital murder of a person less than 14. So these charges that we anticipate coming in the next few days on him will be in addition to what he is currently in the facility.
Havoc on my body.
It's just kind of felt like an impossible problem.
And that's when I came across Eucora.
Founded by a chronic UTI sufferer on a mission to help others just like her. At Eucora, we make UTI relief products. We also make proactive urinary tract health products using science-backed ingredients. Take control of your urinary health.
I'm really grateful for Eucora.
Finally, there's a better way. Discover the support
Columbus home.
Just hours later.
1 year ago today, Kamarie Holland, a 5-year-old child, was reported missing from a Columbus home.
Just hours later, her body was found in a vacant Phoenix City house. WRBL's Hannah James spoke with Kamarie Holland's father on this grim anniversary.
Kamarie Holland was just 5 years old when her life was taken from her. The young girl was reported missing by her mother, Kristy Siple, the morning of December 13th of 2021. The search ended as the 5-year-old's body was found hours later in a vacant Phoenix City home.
It's a sad time to have to speak about a 5-year-old who we're having to work a case on a child who absolutely did nothing wrong.
Authorities discovered the owner of the vacant home to be Jeremy Williams. Williams was taken into custody almost immediately and charged with capital murder in the death of Kamarie Holland. 2 weeks later, the child's mother was arrested and charged in connection with her daughter's death. Police believe the 2 suspects knew one another but did not disclose how. Siple's charges ranged from murder to sex crimes to human trafficking. Before Circuit Court Judge David Johnson issued a gag order in the case, Russell County authorities say a case of this magnitude affects everyone involved.
I've been in this business for 35 years, and it never is easy to watch a case like this or to even have to investigate it.
And I would ask that the community's thoughts and prayers remain with this family, because this is just a horrific experience that they're going through. And the information that they are learning about what Kamarie went through is just awful.
While Kamarie's family awaits justice, her father, Corey Holland, continues to feel the pain daily. The community has done just what Chancey asked by not forgetting Kamarie.
So I have a lot of support for our family, and I really, love that, but strangers as well, that really means a lot to me. Like a detective on the case, I seen him at a Christmas party the other day, and he just came up to me out of nowhere and, once again gave his condolences, saved my daughter in his phone. Like stuff like that, that means a lot. That keeps me strong. Just seeing that nobody's forgotten her, and how she's still touching folks, that's more than I can ask for.
Reporting from Phoenix City, I'm Hannah James, WRBL News 3, on your side.
To further remember Kamarie, Corey Holland started the Kamarie Foundation, through which he hopes to give back to the community. Coming up on News 3 at 6, we will hear more on how Columbus plans to remember Kamarie Holland.
Kamarie Holland's mommy, and she wouldn't want nothing in the world but to donate her toys to another little child that was in need because she was a very healthy child.
Oh, she looked like such a sweet little girl.
She was a very sweet child. She was beautiful. Sweet soul. Thank you. And this is, I seen this and I touched my heart, so I stopped. That's what she was, mommy. Let's help that mommy. She's like that. She's like that. She we were at the gas station one time and we seen a family out there and one of the little girls didn't have shoes on and she said, "Mommy, we can help them, mommy, because I have so many pair of shoes at home, mommy. Let's give them my shoes, mommy." And of course we gave them her shoes because she's that caring. She had a heart. She had a spirit that she's been here before, and she was a blessing. She is a blessing.
Well, how are you coping?
I'm coping. I'm making it. The media's making me look like I'm some evil person, but I'm not. I'm a mommy, and I did not have nothing to do with this. She was my life. I lived for her daily. She was my only girl. I had 3 boys in her.
Oh, she your youngest?
She was no, I have one more under her. I have my son under her. And it's hard. It's hard. I don't know if I'm coming or I'm going, but I'm doing it for her.
Do you have any support? Do you have people on your side? Someone's helping you?
Ain't nobody on my side. They didn't even tell me about the balloon release today. They haven't even mentioned her funeral or nothing.
So will you get to decide that, or?
I don't think so. I think that's all Dad had custody of her.
Okay.
But you know what? I have my peace with her, and she's here in my heart, and that's all that matters.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I can't even fathom what you might be going through, but please know that our hearts and prayers are with you. And I know just at the station, we cover all kinds of news, but for whatever reason, just because of what happened, it has really hit hard for a lot of people.
And that's all you see over social media is her face. She was so loved. She was so loved.
Now she lived in Phoenix City.
Yes, she lived with Dad in Phoenix City, and she was with me. That Sunday I picked her up and he prayed on her. I can't really talk about it. There's a gag order, so.
Okay, and we're not going to try to ask you to talk about that. Is her school doing anything?
I'm not sure. She was in school for literally 3 weeks and then got kicked out because of coronavirus. Somebody tested positive in class. So we decided not to send her back. But she was so smart. She was just learning how to spell her name. She'd see a K somewhere. She's like, "Mom, that's K-A-M-A-R-I-E." She was the best little girl ever.
So I understand she wanted to, I read somewhere.
The princess, she wanted to be a princess. You can tell her nothing. All my makeup ruined, but she wanted to be a princess. She can have it. She can definitely be it.
What would you want viewers to know about your daughter?
She was just the sweetest girl in the world. You couldn't harm her. She was too sweet. You could not harm that little girl because she's so innocent. So smart. She was fantastic. She was perfect.
Well, my heart aches for you. And please know our prayers are with you. I only gave you her card.
Yes. I dropped off some presents.
That's definitely very sweet of you. And is there anything that you want to say to our viewers about?
Life's short, definitely. Keep your loved ones close. You never know when it's going to be the end. And I'm innocent. I had nothing to do with my daughter's disappearance or murder. I would never. She was my life.
Of course she was. She's your baby girl.
Exactly. Whoever could do that is just disturbing. Very sick in the head.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No.
I chose St. George's University School of Medicine because at the time that I wanted to go into medicine, they were the only university that was willing to give me that chance. And I wanted somewhere that I felt believed in me. And from the beginning, even when I was accepted into the school, it was very
Can you now hear me okay? Yeah, she slipped up there, didn't she? It makes me sick too, you know. It was her daughter going missing, red flag. For sure, you know. Okay, this is capital murder trial for mother accused of killing 5-year-old daughter slated to begin in February. This was December the 19th, 2023. Here is the mother. Here is the precious little girl right here. Look how sweet and precious she is. Look at her. Here is the guy, her boyfriend. I would say that they're in a relationship if they did that together. You would not believe this, Jackie. This is horrible. Feature left and right. Kristy, Siple, Kamarie, Holland, and Jeremy Williams. Sorry pieces of crap. All but Kamarie. You did not deserve this, baby girl. You did not deserve it. The trial of Kristy Siple, one of a pair accused of killing and sexually assaulting 5-year-old Kamarie Holland in 2021, is scheduled to begin in February 2024, according to court documents. Jeremy Tremaine Williams, excuse me, and Siple are currently in jail without bond, awaiting trial for the murder and post-death sexual assault of Holland. Williams' trial has not yet been scheduled as of this date. Court documents show Circuit Judge David Johnson scheduled Siple's trial for February 26, 2024, after he requested a continuance. Siple faces 4 total charges in connection to Holland's death. 3 of the charges relate to the murder of Holland, and the 4th is charge of human trafficking. The 3 murder charges are for murder in the course of kidnapping, murder in the course of rape, and murder in the course of sodomy. All of the murder charges allege that she acted in tandem with Williams in the crime. I believe he killed her because they weren't going to get away with what he had done. When the daddy had custody and the daddy would have found out, they would have went to jail. So they tried to cover up their crime. They didn't cover it so well, did they? On December 13, 2021, Kristy Siple was initially reported by the sheriff's office as Kristy Hoskins, called to report her daughter, Kamarie Holland. Look at the different ways about Kristy right here, and it's spelled Kristy right here. Say 2 different ways. According to the original report from the Russell County Sheriff's Office, Siple claimed she awoke early in the morning to find that her daughter was missing from her home. You liar. Later that day, police found Holland's body in an abandoned house in Phoenix City, Alabama. Police said that she likely died of asphyxiation and there was evidence of sexual abuse. Shortly after Williams was arrested and charged, Williams had previously lived in the house where Holland was found. A district judge issued the warrants for Siple less than a week later. Days before her arrest, Siple appeared on TV donating Holland's toys and denied having anything to do with her death. So this was, wow. Siple, wow. Less than a week. Wow. Williams had been charged with capital murder in the course of a kidnapping, capital murder in the course of rape, capital murder in the course of sodomy, corpse abuse, which he had sex with her dead body afterwards. Human trafficking and producing child pornography. This poor girl. Yes. This is very stupid and crazy. Yes, and took pics of it, yes. Court documents claim Williams recorded himself raping and sodomizing Kamarie after her demise. Williams has a history of, listen at this, you might not have known this though, Bucket, okay? Williams has a history of child abuse accusations. In 2009, Williams was charged with burning a 3-year-old child of whom he was the guardian with hot water so severely as to cause him serious injury. Williams was found not guilty of the charge. He was also a suspect in the death of a 1-year-old in Alaska but was never charged. You hear that? He was also charged suspect in the death of a 1-year-old in Alaska? How did he get out of that? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You see that info too? Here's where Jeremy Williams pleads guilty to capital murder and Kamarie Holland's death. Okay. The Russell County man, this was March 2024. The Russell County man accused of brutally killing and raping a 5-year-old girl pled guilty to capital murder charges on Wednesday afternoon. Jeremy Williams also pled guilty to videoing sex with a child under 16, knowingly having sex with a corpse, and human trafficking. Williams' plea carries the possibility of the death penalty. Williams has entered a blind plea, and there will be no plea deal. The state is still required to prove to a jury that Williams is guilty of the crime despite the plea. This would have to be done for him to receive the death penalty. Details of the moments leading up to Kamarie's death were revealed in the courtroom. The content is graphic and the reader discretion is advised. According to Russell County District Attorney Rick Chansey, Williams raped and performed anal and oral sex on Kamarie. Chansey added Williams took video of the entire incident, including sex with her before and after her death. That is not sex with her. Stop putting it as sex with her. How about the entire incidents of raping her? How about that? Don't put including sex with her, because sex is something that both consent to. That is not sex with her. You need to look up your terms, because that is not sex. The mother of a second victim was in the courtroom today. The incidents happened at the same home Kamarie was found dead in, according to court evidence. Williams pled guilty to sodomy and having sex with a child under 6 in reference to that case. So he's a repeated. He's a repeated. Wow. Oh boy, I get so angry. 2 psychological exams on Williams stipulate that he was mentally competent. Thank God you got him mentally competent when he can't say that I was mentally ill. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At the time of Kamarie's murder and today, when the judge asked Williams why he is entering the plea knowing he could face execution, Williams said he wants to expedite the process. Yes, exactly. And I don't know why he had was cleared of the murder in Alaska. I got a feeling, I don't know what really happened with that deal. Kamarie's dad, Corey Holland, was in the second row of the courtroom. When WRBL spoke with Corey yesterday, he said this hearing is just about justice for his little girl. A sentencing hearing has yet to be scheduled. The jury trial will be in April. The blind plea comes not long after Kamarie's mother, Kristy Siple, pled guilty to selling her child for $2,500 to perform oral sex on Williams. What, you sold her for $2,500 to perform oral sex on the adult male? You say she's perfect? You say she's a sweetheart? You say you would never harm her? You pled guilty, receiving $2,500 cash to do this to a grown man. They never followed it up. That's not right. That 1-year-old needs justice too. Maybe he'll never get out of jail so he can't do this to another soul. Look at her. Look at the sorry piece of crap right there, y'all. Look at her. Siple will be formally sentenced at a later date. She has also agreed to testify against Jeremy Williams. A gag order remains in effect for this case. Yeah, that means if she pleads, goes against him, then you know what that's going to do, don't you? That's going to lessen her sentence. She won't get the death penalty, y'all. That's just not right. Was it really worth it that you lost your child to death? Was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? You had to know about his Cortez. Makes me wonder if they had harmed this child prior to this years ago, when they were in an ex-relationship years ago, too. More than 2 years after a 5-year-old Columbus girl was brutally killed and raped, the girl's mother pleaded guilty to her role in the child's death on Wednesday afternoon. Kristy Siple entered a guilty plea to human sex trafficking, which carries a 20-year sentence per agreement. Siple has also agreed to testify against Jeremy Williams, who is accused of killing Kamarie Holland. You basically killed your daughter mentally by doing these things. Your husband had made custody of this kid. Why did you not let him continue? Why did you do this? There is no excuse for the things you done to this child. No excuse at all. Yes, let's pray she does, right? We can plead guilty later today. He has a hearing scheduled in front of Johnson. On December the 13th of 2021, Kamarie Holland was originally reported as a missing person by Siple. Within 24 hours of being reported missing, Kamarie was found dead at a Phoenix City home that had previously been rented by Williams. Williams was taken into custody and charged with capital murder in connection to Kamarie's death. Williams' indictment alleges he videotaped the sexual abuse of Kamarie after he strangled her to death. No, she didn't have custody of her. The dad had full custody. But I don't know why the mother was over there. Well, this is the grandmother, right? I don't know why the mother was over there sleeping. She should not have been allowed in the house if she did not have custody. Williams was, so I think the grandmother, should be in trouble too for allowing that sorry piece of crap into her house. Williams was taken into custody and charged with capital murder in connection to Kamarie's death. Williams' indictment alleges he videotaped, like we said, the sexual abuse of Kamarie after he strangled her to death. Williams is also being investigated for the 2005 death of his daughter. You see this? Nadia Trinice Williams, as well as having been indicted on sexual abuse charge involving another child. You see that? Oh my goodness. About 3 weeks after Williams' arrest, Siple was arrested in connection to the death of Kamarie. Siple was charged with felony murder and later charged with human trafficking as an indictment alleged Siple sold Kamarie to Williams for U.S. currency. A human trafficking warrant previously obtained by News 3 stated Siple did knowingly subject another person to labor servitude or sexual servitude. She did agree with another person to pay her for having sexual intercourse and sodomy with a minor child. She agreed to that he could do that to her too, not just the oral sex is bad enough the oral sex. But regular sex and sodomy of her 5-year-old daughter? Excuse me? Children are a gift from God. And this was right before Christmas too, everyone. December the 13th. This was right before Christmas. Because of a gag order put in place by Circuit Court Judge David Johnson, prosecutors and law enforcement in Russell County cannot comment on the case. A filing by the judge does indicate Williams' hearing later on Wednesday is for a guilty plea. WRBL will keep you updated on that hearing. Okay, so this is where she was mom who reported a 5-year-old daughter's kidnapping is now charged with her murder. Look how beautiful, y'all. This girl was so precious and beautiful. She did not deserve it. Like some of these people that go and talk about, I'm a mother of 5-year-old triplets. No way would I cause my children any harm or human trafficking or death upon them. Capital punishment is needed. Exactly. She never needs to be out of jail. So let me turn off that one because that's what we had earlier. So right here it says the Russell County's Sheriff's Office gave an update Wednesday morning on 5-year-old Kamarie Holland's murder. This was December the 29th. This was after Christmas. On December the 28th, Kamarie's mom, Kristy Siple, was arrested on felony murder charges. She got to spend Christmas at home, y'all. But her kid didn't have another Christmas. But she got to spend another Christmas at home. Siple was also charged with one human trafficking charge. Siple has been arrested with 3 counts of murder. Murder during the course of kidnapping, murder during the course of rape, murder during the course of sodomy. The Russell County Sheriff's Office says this may be one of the first human trafficking cases in the area. Nah. The warrant for the human trafficking charges states Siple allegedly agreed with another person to pay Siple to have sexual intercourse and sodomy with 5-year-old Kamarie. No, it might not. It might be the first case because a lot of times y'all say, "Oh, don't talk about it. That can't be done." You slap people on the wrist, tell them to go their own way. You call them liars and everything. But I believe there's been other cases, but y'all swept it under the rug and didn't let nothing. Y'all had to wait till a kid was murdered. That's what I truly believe. They had to wait till a kid was murdered before they went ahead and knew they had to do something about it, right? They waited till they knew they had to do something about it. Makes me mad. Makes me so mad. Siple was sent to the Russell County Court on Wednesday morning, December the 29th, and she will be held in the Russell County Jail without bond on all 4 charges. Assistant District Attorney Rick Chansey said Hoskins may have another outstanding warrant served to her in the following days. Jeremy Williams will also have additional charges in the coming days. The following charges will be added onto his existing capital murder charge. Capital murder during the course of kidnapping. Capital murder during the course of rape. Capital murder during the course of sodomy. Williams is also expected to be charged with the production of child pornography. At this time, Williams is being held with no bond at the Russell County Jail. His current charge is for the murder of a person less than 14 years old. Below is a full press conference. So I will close my mic where y'all can hear the full press conference.
There at the Circle K on Victory Drive.
we had asked the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to help us locate her. They were gracious enough to do that and assist us with this case, and they were able to pick her up. She was taken to a judge in Columbus, where she signed her waiver of extradition to come back and answer the charges in Alabama. She was brought back to the sheriff's office by our investigators, and she was placed in the jail. She has been charged with murder during the course of kidnapping, murder during the course of rape, murder during the course of sodomy, and human trafficking. She was sent to the court this morning at 9 o'clock. She saw Judge Gray, and he set no bonds on all of her charges. So she will be held at this time in the Russell County Jail under no bond on those 4 charges. We expect that we will also have charges coming for Mr. Williams. We expect in the next couple of days he will be charged with capital murder during the course of kidnapping, capital murder during the course of rape, capital murder during the course of sodomy, production of child pornography. Currently, Mr. Williams is being held in the Russell County Jail under a no bond for capital murder of a person less than 14. So these charges that we anticipate coming in the next few days on him will be an addition to what he is currently in the facility. I hope you understand that this conference is limited. We can't get into what we would normally get into. So I appreciate your understanding of that and respecting the judge's orders so that we can give these defendants a fair trial. I want to thank Columbus PD. I want to thank the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and the Federal Marshals Fugitive Task Force for assisting us in this case. There's been a lot of cooperation between my office and Columbus Police Department, especially with this case with Kamarie. And this case has really affected a lot of the officers in both departments. And so I want to thank them for the work that they've done and let the community know that we're doing everything we can to bring justice for this little girl. Behind me is Assistant Chief District Attorney Rick Chancey with the Russell County DA's office, and then Assistant Chief Fitzpatrick and Chief Blackman of the Columbus Police Department. I will give any of them an opportunity to make some statements. Just understand that it won't be details of the case. Chief.
Good morning. As Sheriff Taylor has previously mentioned, our departments are working very closely together regarding this case. And as we continue to develop information and evidence, we'll continue to be able to go forward with the case. At this time, there's very limited information that I will be able to share, as was previously stated. But I do want to say that if there is anyone who has any information regarding this case, to please contact the Columbus Police Department, 706-653-3400. If you want to remain anonymous, you can contact us at 706-653-3400. 3188. So again, we're working very closely with Russell County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Taylor as we work to bring this case to a successful resolve. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm going to respect the judge's order today and keep my statements just to the public record and the public proceedings. The sheriff's already read to you the charges that have been filed already and those that the sheriff's office expects to bring here in the next few days. Just from a process standpoint, you could expect that Ms. Siple will either be retaining an attorney or being appointed an attorney. And at some point in the near future, I would expect both of these to ask for a preliminary hearing, at which time we will be able and be ready to present the evidence that we have so far as to show what the probable cause is that resulted in these arrests. So from a procedural standpoint, that will be the next major thing I think that will happen in this case is a preliminary hearing. I don't have a date yet on either one. It'll be at the court schedule. From the preliminary hearing, these cases will be then sent to the Russell County Grand Jury, and all of the evidence that has been gathered thus far and any further evidence that comes in will be presented at that grand jury, from which indictments I expect will be issued and these cases will proceed to trial. I have made some copies today of the warrants that were filed, and I'll pass those out if you want copies of those. We are limited to only giving you what's public record. These are still active investigations and ongoing investigations. So don't know yet what other, if any, charges may be filed in this, but the cases are not officially closed. They are still under investigation, and we'll continue to receive information from Columbus and the Sheriff's Department as to whether to proceed on any other matters when we get to grand jury. So both, I would expect Mr. Williams will need to come in for another 72-hour hearing once he's arrested on these other warrants, and that would probably be sometime next week. I don't know, Ms. Siple, I think, has been charged with all that she is currently being charged with, and she made her appearance, as Sheriff Taylor said this morning. She has another outstanding warrant you may see come through, and that may be done via Zoom. I don't know if the court will bring her up again, but there's another warrant that was served this morning, I believe, on another matter, basically a failure to appear type thing. So thus the reason for no bond. Judge Gray did issue a gag order in this case. It'll, I think, verbatim state exactly what Judge Johnson's gag order said, so we're going to have to keep our comments rather limited today. But again, I want to thank the Sheriff's Department and all the investigators behind you and those who are off today. They've been doing an amazing amount of work over the past couple of weeks, and I know they're tired and exhausted. This is a case that tugs at everybody's heartstrings. To go to that funeral the other day, it just breaks your heart to know that Kamarie is no longer with us. And as a public service, please, parents, take care of your kids. Watch your kids. Be careful who your kids are around. Shouldn't have to state that, but it never hurts to remind everybody this is a bad world, and just let's take care of our kids. And I appreciate the Sheriff's Office working so hard to bring this to a conclusion. Thank you, Sheriff.
Good morning. I'll just reiterate what has already been said, and just to emphasize about your children. Please, parents, caregivers, everyone, please know something about who you are allowing your children to be around. I've worked in special victims and in sex crimes, and I can tell you from what the sheriff has told you and what Chief Blackman has said, and from what the DA has said, this case has really taken a toll on a lot of the investigators. It's very long hours, and these men and women of the Sheriff's Department of Russell County, men and women of the Columbus Police Department, and the men and women in law enforcement as a whole, this has really struck a nerve with us because we care about our kids, we care about our community. So the only thing I have to say is that please monitor where your kids are and who they're around. Thank you.
Again, I thank everybody for coming. I would typically answer questions at this time, but we were going to forego that, and anything that we have coming up, we will keep you abreast on as far as any court dates and things of that matter that is of public record. So thank you for coming, and be safe.
The reason why they keep saying Columbus is because that's where the mother was living when she was arrested. Columbus, Georgia. I looked it up online, and it's in it. That's where she lived. Mother charged with murder, human trafficking after 5-year-old Kamarie Holland was found dead in Alabama. This was 2021, and so we see the updates now to where she's going to be. It's going to be she pled guilty to human trafficking. The mother of slain 5-year-old from Columbus has been charged in connection with the daughter's death, according to Russell County Jail and State records. The main reason why I came here, I wanted y'all to see these different pictures. Kamarie, look at these beautiful pictures. This child did not deserve what had happened to her. This bright child, great personality, you could tell. She was smart. But that sorry piece of crap, those two sorry pieces of crap, the mother and Williams, who exploited this child. Mother who admitted to selling her for $2,500 to do oral sex on Williams. She admitted to that. In essence, showed that she knew he was going to have sex with her. Excuse me? A child is not made to do that. Sex is willingly. This is child rape. Yes, he was. Her daddy was so proud of it, of the daughter. I feel so sorry for the daddy having to do this. I can imagine that he feels guilty of letting the grandmother have the baby if the mother was there. If she had him around these sorry pieces of crap. Well, it's not his fault. The daddy probably works. Daddy probably needed a babysitter. The grandparents deserve time with the kids as well. Oh, your battery died on the other phone. Glad that you're back. The story is very unbelievable. I want to thank you so much for Bucket for sharing this information with me, and I knew had to go ahead and get it out there. In April, it's supposed to be the sentencing, I do believe. So let's hope and pray that justice will prevail. I hate the fact that the mother is going to testify against Jimmy, which will probably end up with her lesser sentence, which is probably means that she might have life in jail if she does get whatever. I got mad, last week I did a story on two twins who had killed basically 3 people here in Pulaski, Tennessee, and that one of the culprits is out of jail after 30 years. It's scary to me knowing that I live close proximity to somebody that has even dismembered somebody. It's gruesome. It's sadistic. You sorry pieces of crap. And she had to know that this guy was previously being looked at for the murder of his own daughter. For the murder of his own daughter, and yet she let this sorry piece of crap Right. Not unless got to see when the death of his daughter happened. So now he's being investigated about that as well. And like I said, that 1-year-old boy, but he did not get charged in that case. They need to further it up now that he is charged with these two. They need to further it up, the investigation, ramp it up on that 1-year-old's murder. Because it's right up his forte. Now they got some evidence about him being responsible for murder. And so I hope Alaska, because the statute of limitations for murder never goes out. I did my best to be careful. Thank you. Yes, she initiated it. She knew what she was doing. Can you imagine how the grandmother felt? That's probably why she said, oh, she's kidnapped. She didn't want to tell the grandmother, I'll let him take my soda. I'll let him do this kind of stuff. Yet within a little while, she goes and donates all the toys. Like I said, whose story does this sound similar to? I'm not going to mention the names live, but somebody that we know got rid of the toys, and it's just a missing kid. It's a missing kid that we know as missing. We have never found a body from that case. So y'all be hyper vigilant. Speak up. Speak out. Prayers for the family, the ones that loved and missed. Prayers for our children. All these things are happening too often. I wanted to tell y'all too, I did make it to the college yesterday on trying to get the word out about these things happening. The lady in charge told me that they got classes that they are teaching the children. I mean, they're after high school, so it's teenagers, right? And that they are teaching the children the classes, these about sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, teaching them about sex trafficking. And I told her that I would be willing to go in there and answer any type of questions for someone that's been through these things. So she's taken my book and she's taken it to the lady that's over the children's, like the psychological department or so, and gonna talk with her and find out if they can use me. And y'all pray that they'll be able to use me. Like, we got to get the word out. They don't need to just hear stories that's in the news. They need to know that, yeah, there's a victim right here. You know, here's somebody that survived it. They don't, because it helps a lot more for them to actually see somebody and hear their personal story face to face with them. Y'all, please be on the lookout. Please keep our children safe. Yes, I hope so too. A friend of mine told me that when she went over there and volunteered to do that, they discussed it, and then they had her sent. They sent her to different colleges in the area. That she even had to go to a college in Nashville. They sent her around to different places after they agreed. So let's see where this goes with this. Yes. And y'all remember that little sign that you put your thumb inside your hand, and then you close your fist. That's a sign for I need help. And y'all remember when y'all see it, don't act upon it. You may follow at a safe distance, but do not put yourself in harm as well. If you get killed in the process, what did that help the other person? Call 911. Get help. Get help ASAP. I want to thank y'all so much, and I say God bless y'all. and prayers and lots of love for the family that endured this and that's going through this. There's so many missing kids. And you know, the ones that generally love their kids. And you know, they got to be sick thinking, is my child being trafficked? Is my child enduring this? Is my child even alive? This got to be hard on a lot of the good parents. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.